dog. So long story short, Rhodey is truly what brought me to the passion of wanting to help other owners. I always tell people that I want to help dogs and their owners live their best lives together. And when I started working with him, he's been my best teacher. That's the thing too, is when I see my owners start to really understand their dog and find a new way to communicate with them in a way that it's like everything's clicking, that's my why. Is not because I just want dogs to listen to people, or I want dogs to be able to go out to coffee shops with their owners. It's because I want people and their dogs to feel comfortable in their home and comfortable with their relationship. Because just like a lot of people, a lot of dogs and humans aren't compatible. And that can be really hard for an owner to come to terms with, is they have this dog, and sometimes you don't realize you're not always compatible. So for me, it's how can I help the owners become more compatible with their dogs? How can I help dogs feel less chaotic and chaos? And we probably all see it. Maybe some of you are sitting in the room and are like, that's my dog. Of the second the doorbell rings, it's or someone's walking past the window, it's Our dogs are constantly living in a little bit of that chaos. And I just want to help owners and their dogs feel less chaos. Because when we all feel a little bit more neutral in our nervous system, things feel better. So Rhodey brought me to KANE9, and I started first with private sessions. I was still working for the cheese company, and we moved out to Maine shortly for about 10 months for a job for Casey, and it wasn't the right fit. He didn't love it. We wanted to come back to Wisconsin, and I said, hey, when we come back to Wisconsin, I want to do KANE9 full time. Like, we need to find something for you that can make it be that I can do this full time. Like, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. So when we moved back to Wisconsin, I quit my job with only 2 dogs on the schedule. And what I mean by 2 dogs on the schedule is I do board and trains. I also did private sessions at that time. So board and trains, the dogs come to stay with us for an extended period of time, and I train them, and then their owners come back and we pass over that knowledge so they can continue that work back home. So only 2 dogs on the schedule. And I'm like, let's go for it. And again, it was one of those things where when I told my boss, and the company loved me, I loved them, it was just like I was ready for something different. And I was like, I'm young, like, let's do it. Like, have faith in yourself and make the leap. They're offering me a ton more money to stay. I'm like, why didn't you pay me that to begin with? So I'm like, no, I'm still going. So ever since it was 2018, so I started KANE9 in 2017 doing a private session basis. In 2018, I went full time, and we've never been slow since. There's never been a time that we haven't had dogs that need help and owners that need help. Of course, there's always growing pains and like learning curves and stuff through that process. But I knew from that point on, of every single owner that I was interacting with, that this is something that others need, is helping the Kates back then. So the ones that were like, I have this dog, I don't know what to do, or even just, wanting to have a better life with your dog, manners, teaching your dog how to be patient with things. It's not always just the trouble dogs. I just tend to attract a lot of the people that need extra help. And now to this day, what's pretty cool is KANE9 has evolved into so much more than dog training. I am now, down here's a picture of, I was flown out to Chattanooga this year and trained a group of 10 other trainers. So now I'm doing more trainer training as well, of helping them really grow their impact with their communities, and not only their dog training skills, but also how to attract your dream owners and how to communicate with owners and connect with them in a way that it's like they're human just like us. It's not I'm telling you this is the way you need to do things with your dogs, but trying to find an empathetic way of connecting people, but also giving them a little bit of that tough love when they need it as well to make some changes. So it's pretty cool that I'm now able to help other trainers build a business similar to what I'm doing here at KANE9. This is up here in the picture, and obviously you guys know where that is, the Capitol. We do client pack walks, so it just gives you a little bit of a picture of some of the clients that we work with. And up in the left-hand corner of there is another different training seminar that we do where it's called The Trainer in You. And that is more of a growth mindset and personal development for other trainers. So we've always had women at it as well, which is really cool. And there's so much like imposter syndrome and growing your business on social media. As you hate is scary, and it's when people are like making negative comments and things like that. that's hard. So that group is really for like, how can we help these trainers, even if they've been training for years, but feel kind of stuck as like a person? How do we help them kind of grow within the way that I've learned in my own trials, but then also the other person that I partner with, hers as well. So that is really cool. And then obviously working with the dogs is still one of my absolute favorite things to do. So you can go to the next one. So like I was saying, what we offer is the board and train. So that's when the dogs come and it's basically their camp away from home. Virtual coaching video calls. That is something where I jump on a call with an owner and we kind of talk about a game plan, or another trainer where I'm talking them through like some business strategy type stuff. It's really cool, that offering, because I've talked to people in Ireland and all over the United States and different countries. So it's cool how much impact you can have through social media, even though social media at times can be a scary place as well. It's also a really cool place and truly how I've built my business. And then I offer shadow programs for other trainers. So they come here to Verona, to our location for 3 days, and basically a day in the life with Kate and Casey. Our digital resources. So we started with me just doing board and trains and private sessions, working with clients, working with dogs. When did you start going full-time with me? 3 years ago. So Casey was working full-time again. He needs to make sure that I can hit the ground running with KANE9 full-time. And 3 years ago, we basically retired him from corporate world, and he's now working full-time with me at KANE9, and has also now opened up his own business of doing video content for construction companies in the area. So with that, we've been able to create ebooks and e-courses through his expertise in the video side of things, my creativity. But the biggest thing for that is we wanted to offer something that is a digital offering. Obviously, it's a really nice way to have passive income for us, but then also we want to be able to reach more people, be able to help more people besides just here in our community. And then we have, again, our social media is huge. Our subscription page, we share free content all the time. And then again, I mentioned some of the other things that we do for other trainers. So you can head to the next one. So that is KANE9 in a nutshell, my process of how I got here in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions for me?